So you've got this amazing website, really cool graphics, compelling content, but you're noticing your visitors aren't really sticking around long. In fact, some of them may not even be clicking on a single link. Do you know the number one reason why people will leave a website is because the web pages are loading way too slowly? Hi, I'm Susie, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to get your website pages loading lightning fast using an amazing WordPress plugin called WP Rocket. So if you're ready, let's jump into my computer. All right, let's head over to the WP Rocket website. And to find that, you're going to go to wp-rocket.me or .com. I think it redirects it here. All right, so WP Rocket is, like I said, the WordPress plugin that's going to make your site load so much faster. All right, now feel free to go read a little bit more about this awesome plugin. All right, but this is a premium plugin and it's extremely worth it because remember what I said before, one of the biggest factors in a good SEO ranking is a very good page loading time. So the quicker your site loads, the better it is for SEO. All right, having said that, let's go over to pricing. Now, there are 3 tiers. Each one of them has the exact same offerings. There's no difference. The only thing that is different is how many websites you can use it on. So we can use it on 1 site, 3 sites, or unlimited. Okay. For our purposes in today, you're going to go ahead and purchase the 1 site. Okay. So go ahead through the process. I have already downloaded it. So go ahead. It's very straightforward. And then just remember where you downloaded the zip file. Now, we're going to test out my good old website page to see what it's like before I've installed anything. Absolutely no WP Rocket on the site whatsoever. And there's a few good free tools out there that will show you your site's speed, your page loading speed. The one I like to use is called GT Metrics, and you can find that at gtmetrics.com. Alrighty, I'm going to type in my URL, which is teachingtechacademy.com, where I provide a bunch of tech tutorials. I'm going to hit the Test Your Site button, and this can take a while. Okay, everybody. Well, I've got a lot of work ahead of me. All right, first thing I want you to see is it takes 12.2 seconds to load my site. Guys, that is pathetic. It's awful. My Y slow score is a D, and my page speed score is an E. Okay, I know it's pretty bad. Alrighty, well, WP Rocket to the rescue. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my WordPress dashboard. And what I want to do is I want to install the new plugin. So I'm going to hit Add New. And I'm going to hit this button that says Upload Plugin. And I'm going to choose my file. Scroll down to locate my wprocket.zip file. And hit Open. Then select Install Now. And once it's installed, you need to activate it. So click on the Activate plugin. Okay, so let's scroll down and make sure it's installed. And here it is, WP Rocket, fantastic. All right, now let's go back to GT Metrics and retest. Now, I haven't done anything. I'm not going into any tabs into WP Rocket. So let's just, for kicks, see what it is, just for the fact that I installed the plugin. So I'm opening it up in a new tab because that'll help me better to compare. Entering my URL once again. Okay, here's the new report. Holy smokes, check this out. It went down, let's look at the previous one, 12.2 seconds to 6.5. A whopping 6 seconds faster. All right, I'm headed in the right direction. But man, 6.5 seconds is way, way too long of a load time. My Y slow score is still a D, and my page speed score is still an E. Okay, okay, I went up a percentage on that. This stayed the same. Okay, and if I scroll down, there are a lot of, well, not a ton of things, but a few things here that I really could use some help on. And that's where WP Rocket's going to come in and save the day. All right, so let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. And to get to that WP Rocket, just go to your settings and then you'll see it installed right here, WP Rocket. So I'm clicking on that. And now we're in the WP Rocket dashboard, okay? Just scroll through here if you want to get a little bit more acquainted. But we're going to go through tab by tab on how to clean up our site and make it look, make it load a lot faster. All right. So let's go to the first tab, which is our cache. Now, the first thing we can do is go work on our mobile caching, okay? So if you want to enable caching for mobile devices, you can have a separate one for like a cache for those that are loaded in on the desktop, or sorry, that are viewing on the desktop, and a separate one for those that are viewing on their mobile devices, okay? So that's up to you. I'm going to select it. All right, now scrolling down, we're down to the user cache. Okay, so what's a user cache? Well, if you have a website that requires someone to log in, like you have an e-commerce site, or you have a membership site, or an online course like a LMS, Learning Management System site, anything that requires someone to log in, this is the user cache. And it depends on how your site runs, whether you want to enable it or not. Mine actually does have a login because I do sell courses. So I think I'm just going to leave it be for now and just not touch it. Okay, cache lifespan. We're going to leave it to the default, which is 10 hours, okay? If you have a site that has a ton of updates, you're updating constantly for whatever reason, you might want to decrease these hours. You can just do that by simply going down, okay? If you have a site that you really never, ever update, kind of set it and forget it, you might want to go up to 20 hours, okay? But generally, 10 is, a great amount of hours to save as your cache lifespan. All right, now let's hit Save Changes, okay? And the next tab we're going to go to is File Optimization. Now, this is great. It's just going to minify a lot of the code that's written behind your website, and it'll get rid of a lot of the code comments and just a lot of extra stuff. So I'm just going to say minify the HTML, remove any query strings. Again, if you wanted to learn more about this, there's a ton of tutorials out there about minifying code and why you should do it. Scrolling down to our CSS files, again, I want to minify those as well. Now it says, okay, this could break things. If you notice any errors on your website. Now, if you see this, stop what you're doing, all right? First of all, you should always have a backup of your site. If not, do it right now. Trust me. This says it could break things. I'm going to leave it as is. Honestly, my site's not that big, so minifying a little bit of the CSS isn't going to really change the site speed all that much. Okay, same with JavaScript files. Again, I'm not going to worry about it. Like I said, it's a small site. But you know what? I just wanted you to see that you could do this. You could combine your Google font files. Like I say, test them out. If your speed is still slow, then start going down to some of these. But honestly, if it's a small site, don't worry about it. And again, hit your Save Changes. Okay, the next thing is our media. Now, images can really, really suck up some time, okay? So what we want to do is if your images aren't optimized for the web, and again, there's plenty of tutorials on how to do that. But if it's not, then you could be, for instance, you could be using a much larger image than what you actually need in that space, in that viewer, okay? So assuming that you have all your images optimized for the web, and I know you do, I'm going to say enable for images in the lazy load. Now, what's a lazy load? Okay, suppose you have like a website or a page where it's a bunch of images. Okay, maybe you have a portfolio of your photography work, and you've got about 40 images. You don't want to wait till all of those images are loaded before your page can start loading. So what you want to do is a lazy load. So as your user is scrolling down the page, more images are appearing, okay? They're loading. They're being lazy and loading when they're needed. And again, you could do this for enabling for iframes and videos if you have some videos embedded. I pull a lot of my stuff from my YouTube videos, so I'm going to say replace YouTube iframe with a preview image. Sure. This is where you can save a lot of time. Emojis, it says use default emoji. Disable emoji will reduce the number of external. Yeah, I mean, it's again, I'm just going to leave it as is. Embeds. Okay, now this means when someone wants to embed something from your site on their site. And, test it out. I'm going to leave it, I'm not going to disable it right now because I want to see how fast, I want to see how much improvement we've done since our latest test, okay? And here you go. Here's, WebP compatibility. I'm going to leave it as is. And once more, we're going to hit the Save Changes button. Alrighty, next up is our Preload tab. Okay, your site should have a sitemap installed, okay? So what you want to do is activate the sitemap-based preloading. That's going to allow your browser or your server to know the pages that are already needed in the site. Okay, so it's kind of like, well, it's a map to your content. And I have Yoast SEO installed, which is a phenomenal SEO tool. I highly recommend that. And I want to click on that. And you can also just add your sitemap URL right here, which is usually, again, follow this at sitemap.xml and your URL. All right. Okay, and finally on here, we are down to prefetch DNS requests. So if you need to prefetch certain files that are external, you can certainly add them right here. Alrighty, now we're going to hit Save Changes again. We're now on to Advanced Rules. And for this tab, I'm going to say, unless you are a developer or really, really knowledgeable about, servers and things like that, I would say leave this as is, okay? So this is advanced for a reason. And I'm not going to touch it for sure. Okay, next thing is our database tab. And at the top, you have an option to clean up your posts. Okay, these are your WordPress posts, okay? So WordPress will save a lot of your revisions, and eventually they do delete them, but I'm just going to click on these. I mean, I have 950 revisions. That's crazy. 220, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do those two. It depends. A lot of people like to keep everything clean. It's not going to really speed up your site, like, amazingly, but you know what? Every little bit helps in this case, okay? Comments, I don't really have that many comments. And then transient cleanups, just this temporary. I'm just going to leave that as is. Okay, automatic cleanup. Back up your database, absolutely. And I'm going to hit optimize. And this brings us to the next tab, which is the CDN tab. Now, my hosting company provides a CDN, which is Content Delivery Network. So I'm not going to check this. But if you have one like Cloudflare or Max CDN, feel free to add them here. A CDN is really helpful. In a quick way to explain it is, suppose your server is in New York City, but you have a user over in the UK, or let's just say Norway, okay? So in order for the request to be pulled from New York City, it could increase the load time. What a CDN is that it will load parts of your site are hosted actually on other areas that are spread out globally. So they could pull from servers that are actually closer to Norway, so that the request doesn't have to come all the way from Norway to New York City. I know that's a kind of a crazy explanation, but that's pretty much what it is. It just kind of pieces apart your site so that it could be faster to clients that are not in the general country of your server. Okay, and just go through again. I have a CDN on mine, so I'm not going to worry about that. And again, you're going to hit Save Changes. Now let's get to Heartbeat. Now this talks to the server. It's an API, and it just controls like making sure everything is running smoothly between your site and the server. Okay, now what I'm going to tell you is leave everything as reduced activity. I'm going to show you some of the options. You can do not limit or you can disable. Do not touch these. See, if you read it, reducing activity will change the frequency to 1 hit every 2 minutes. So reducing the activity is really all you need to do. Do not start messing around with these. Like I said, if you wanted to get more involved, there's a way to do that. But for our purposes, we're just going to leave it as is. Alrighty. And I'm going to hit Save Changes. And now we are on to add-ons. Okay, now here's some awesome add-ons that you can toggle on and off. Okay, Google Analytics, you can toggle. I already have that installed, but WP Rocket will allow you to do, it makes it a lot easier for your site to talk to your Google Analytics account. All right, same with the Facebook pixel. If you have Facebook pixels installed, if you have, if you're using Facebook pixels to determine site users or customers and things like that for your audiences, WP Rocket makes it super easy just to toggle that on and off. Okay, and again, we're down to Cloudflare and security. And again, these are CDNs. You can toggle those on and off. I mean, they make it so easy. The next tab I want to talk about is the Tools tab. Now, this is great if you have purchased one of the other options for the plugin, where you have it for either 3 sites or unlimited sites. Because once you establish your settings in one website, all you have to do is export the settings, open up the other website, and import them again. So WP Rocket makes it really super simple to set all your settings once and then export it to as many sites as you need. Also, if you have installed a version that is giving you some issues with your website, all you have to do is roll it back to a previous version. Alrighty. Finally, we are on to tutorials. Now, I covered a lot of information in this lesson, but I'm sure you still have a lot more questions. And WP Rocket has provided us with some amazing videos. So I strongly suggest you take some time and just go over these tutorials. It'll have your site up and running so much faster in no time. All right, speaking of faster sites, I think it's time we take a look at my site now that we've made some adjustments. So I'm going to click there, I'm back to GT Metrics, and I've done this in another tab. I've entered my URL. Okay, everybody. Oh my goodness, I am so excited. All right, first of all, check this out. 3.5 seconds. Do you remember when we started out? It was 12.2. Holy smokes. My page size rather, has just about cut it in half. My HTTP requests have diminished greatly. I now have a page speed score of a C. You know what? I will take it. I'll take it. And this is all due to installing WP Rocket. I mean, how easy was that? All right, so now I'm going to go down to see where I have a little bit of errors. And I have some landing page redirects I know I need to fix. It's got nothing to do with the WP Rocket. I need to fix those on my own. I have several images that I need to have them uploaded in the final size that I'm going to use on the website. For instance, if I upload an image that is 1200 pixels wide, but I really am only using it in the website at, say, 300 pixels wide, well, that's going to waste a lot of page speed, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to upload those photos in the exact size as I'm using them, okay? I'm not going to waste any space or, delay my site in any way. So I know I have to do that. So that goes with the scaled images and my optimized images, okay? So these are 3 quick, easy fixes for me. But y'all, I am so excited about this. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video on how to get your site lightning fast using WP Rocket. I know I had a lot of fun making it, and I'm just really excited to get my page even faster now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.